I had the immense honour of being the final presentation for tonight, and I am following up with some real heavyweights, as you might have seen, some incredible people doing incredible projects, right? But if you listen to what everyone said tonight, you might kind of get lost in the project and the things that they did, the incredible things that each of these individuals took into their own hands and decided to do with this opportunity that was given to them. And that is, to be honest, this cannot be overstated how important that is. But there's so much more to it than that, right? And so I'm here to talk to you about the non-Wattle project stuff. And I'm uniquely qualified to tell you about the non-Wattle project stuff is because I am not a person who did a project. I'm, I think, the only one, but that's my fault. So, as background, 3.5 years ago, I, quite by accident, started an organisation doing food relief across Melbourne. And through luck, hard work and perseverance and a bit more luck, we ended up growing quite considerably into an organisation that at the time was doing about 2,500 meals a week. And so it got to the point where I could step back and I said, look, this is lovely. I think I can trust other people with the organisation now. And I can step back. We can continue doing what we're doing. And I can, get on with my life in some ways. And then I saw the Wattle project, I applied, I'm like, this is great, I love doing a project. And then as I started Wattle, was right about the time when, if you guys have watched the news, our single worst housing and food security crisis since before the mining boom has ever happened, right? And so all of a sudden I was in a position where I had to face a choice of, I can either do a Wattle project, or I can go back and fight this need where I have a unique opportunity to make a difference. And so that's what I've been doing the last year, and Lynn was very, very accepting of the fact that I felt that was a better choice. However, there's so much more to Wattle than the project, and so I still feel like I got immense value to it. And so I tried to map it out, and I'm not good at graphic design. But this is some of it, right? So we had 6 workshops, that's the nice purple stuff. We had some nice retreats and some nice big seminar things. And up there you can also see what I use for my professional development, because as Caven alluded to, I was one of the clever ones who use it on conferences. But so I'm gonna walk you through this, and I'm gonna walk you through each of the kind of the more important things, I think, than things we really gained a lot of value from, and really show you that the Wattle project's more than just an opportunity to do a thing. It's building something on its own, right? And so firstly, the workshops and retreats. These were incredible. We spoke to some absolute heavyweights from the sustainability industry. And we spoke to some people who had done incredible things, and at times some people who were, I think, legally an eco-terrorist, but on the good side, to be clear. But they all did incredible things, and learning from the history and the backing and the people who created the modern green movement we see today, and the modern environmentalism and sustainability movement we see today, allowed us to, in some people's cases, engage in a subject that they loved and were passionate about more deeply than they ever could have before by meeting some truly incredible people. And in a lot of other people's cases, engage with an idea they'd never once heard about and never once known existed. And so that was incredibly valuable, and we all gained a lot of knowledge there. And then the workshops themselves, a lot of the times we were learning things that were really useful going forward, particularly in the field of sustainability, like project management and systems thinking. And all of that stuff is going to be incredibly crucial, and we're not taught it in the degrees that we study in our day-to-day life, right? Next up, we had our personal leadership development opportunities. We did have some doing incredible acting classes, which I'm a bit jealous now, to be honest. But I chose mine to go to 2 conferences, one in Tasmania and one in Canberra. In Canberra, I managed to go to the Better Futures Forum, which was a forum where we got to engage with people who were designing the new energy grid and the new way that Australia was becoming an energy superpower, despite the fact that coal is drastically running out. And then in Tasmania, we went to a conference called Change Fest. You might have seen some photos of that popping up before. But that allowed us to engage with an idea called place-based change. And that idea has made a fundamental impact on the way I approach problems and the way I run my entire company. And so now, just because we were exposed to new ideas, every single one of us, and there were many more conferences that I didn't go to and some I did, all of us took things from those that we never expected to take from them, and that we will carry with us for the rest of our lives. But to be honest, the conferences and the retreats, they were kind of small beans to the people. And this could be seen as a cop-out of the last slide. But you'll notice that every single person here did something drastically different from another. And you couldn't really silo any of us into a box and say, this is what we do. This is what a Wattle Fellow is. I'm a commerce student at the moment, for God's sake. That is the least sustainable degree on the planet. And so, as we approach our professional lives, and we are all graduating, we're all starting to silo ourselves off, this is kind of what a social network looks like. And if all of us care about sustainability, we're kind of only going to know what's in our bubble, what's in our immediate bubble. But what the Wattle Project does, it creates a group of friends who are all immensely capable and immensely powerful in their own right, in their ability to get things done, who will go far in life. And it brings us all together. And it means we share ideas. So I've learned about medicine, I've learned about One Health, I've taken ideas from every single industry, and every single one of us has done the same, and incorporated it into our worldview. And so it's allowed us to create a community that is truly interdisciplinary and truly creating the climate leaders of tomorrow. And so with that, I would just say thank you all so much for being here, and thank you to all of my Wattle Fellows. I love you all deep.